Peace, infinite waters diving deep once again. Light and darkness, the illusion of duality. And many of us, when we talk of light and darkness, this is a theme which runs throughout humanity. The apocalyptic battle between good and evil, between heaven and hell, between all of these things. This is, in my mind, heaven and hell are a state of mind. When we talk of light and darkness, many of us, we only focus on the light. Therefore, we become blinded. Because the darkness, when people talk of the dark side, it's not a negative thing, because in my mind, there is no negative and positive. Everything is the same thing, it's just a different frequency. But in essence, we find our greatest power in our neutral state, which is somewhere in between, right in the middle. When we talk of light and darkness, a lot of us, we are told that what happens when bad things happen to good people? What happens when good things happen to bad people? And a lot of us, we're looking at it and we're trying to find this correlation which is running throughout the universe, and we're trying to make sense of it. And in my mind, I just realized that you will never actually be able to see it that way, because there's a very thin line between light and darkness, between good and bad. In essence, they're part of the same energy. The battery has negative and positive, but essentially it's the one force. So a lot of times people, they talk of the dark night of the soul, where you have your breakdown. I had it a long time ago. A breakdown in my journey was actually a breakthrough, because it actually showed me my inner strength. And a lot of the times when we talk of the darkness, the dark side, it's in the darkest moments that we begin to see more clearly. And also the light is beautiful as well, because it helps us to see our reflection. It helps us to become illuminated. So the two energies are really one in the same. And when we're seeing it play out on a world stage, a lot of the times what we think of as bad is actually part of our own belief system. In essence, it's all BS, it's all belief systems. Change your mind, change your world. And for me, I saw this to be true on my journey, that in essence, our truest state is where there is no good or evil. There is only a neutral way of being. And in essence, anything you call good is only an interpretation, just as anything you call bad is only an interpretation. So a lot of what we call good and bad, or light and darkness, are interpretations. And then someone says, what are you talking about? Because when someone kills someone, of course that is evil. And yes, the energy they're dealing with is at a frequency where it's not actually in tune with the universal law, which is do not kill anything within the universe. This is common sense law. So yes, you've actually gone against universal law. You've killed something which you can't create. So in essence, when people are actually following and in sync with universal law, this is not what man has created, because man has created money, man has created religion, man has created government to govern mental, to govern the mind. But essentially, when we talk of light and darkness, the universal laws which are in operation, in essence, show us the truth about light and darkness, because those are the two laws in operation. Those two laws which are light and darkness. And when we just see things that anything we do is going to have a consequence, but there are no right actions in my mind, and there is no right behavior, just as there is no perfect person. And because you can't find a perfect being on the planet, because perfectionism is very subjective. It depends on the person who is seeing it. But when we talk of light and darkness, this whole battle, which is, would you go to a movie which is just full of flowers and nothing is happening? No, we want drama. We're addicted to chaos and fear and all of these things, and good overcomes evil. But in essence, the source of life, some people call it God, transcends good and evil. It's above good and evil. In essence, good and evil are servants for the Creator, the source of life. So light and darkness are only helping us become more aware of the hidden truths within creation. Light and darkness are only servants for the source of life. Infinite waters, diving deep in the midnight session. Stay well, stay healthy. Peace.